We watched the wrens and the yellow wings spilling their thimblefuls of song. And there came a truce, and I shook his hand for a time our fighting done. And I never spoke a word again to the red-haired tinker's son. 'Tis many the days since he went away, and along the road to Band, swing gaily to a horse or cattle fair, with the Bryans and the Coffee clan. And the tinker's son should be back again, back in the roads he knew. But I killed my boyhood friend in 1922.
The Wild Mountainside by John Douglas. Beauty is within grasp, hear the islands call. The last mile is upon us, I'll carry you if you fall. I know the armour's heavy now, I know the heart is tired. It's beautiful just over the wild mountainside. Snow is falling all over out of clear blue sky. Crow is flying all over. You and I are going to wander high up where the air is rare, wild horses ride. It's beautiful, let's go over the wild mountainside. Wild and free we'll roam, only a mile to go. Wild and free we'll roam, only a mile to go. Beauty is within grasp, hear the highlands call. The last mile is upon us, I'll carry you if you fall. I know the armour's heavy now, I know the heart's inside. It's beautiful, let's go over the wild mountainside. It's beautiful, just roaming the wild mountainside.
Now, the Galway races were instituted in Ballybrit back in 1869, which is over 150 years ago. And they've been going strong ever since, galloping strong ever since, you might say. And this is a song which celebrates that annual event. And it's a song called The Galway Races. As I rode out through Galway town to seek for recreation, on the 17th of August, me mind being elevated, there were multitudes assembled with their tickets at the station, and me eyes began to dazzle, and them going to see the races with me whack, fall the do, fall the diddery idle day. There were passengers from Limerick and passengers from Neenah, passengers from Dublin and sportsmen from Tipperary, passengers from Kerry and all quarters of the nation, and I remember Mr. Hardy for to join the Galway Blazers with me whack, fall the do, fall the diddery idle day. There were multitudes from Arran and members from New Quayshore, the boys from Connemara and the Clare and married maidens, People from Cork City who were loyal, true and faithful. They brought home the Fenian prisoners from dying in foreign nations. With me whack, fall the do, fall the diddery idle day. And it's there you'll see confectioners with sugar sticks and dainties, lozenges and oranges and lemonade and raisins, gingerbread and spices to accommodate the ladies, and a big crubeen for thruppence to be sucking while you're able. With me whack, fall the do, fall the diddery idle day. And it's there you'll see the gamblers, the timbles and the garters, and the sporting wheel of fortune with the 24 quarters. There were others without scruple pelting wattles at poor Maggie, and her daddy well contented to be gawking at his daughter. With me whack, fall the do, fall the diddery idle day. And it's there you'll see the pipers and the fiddlers competing, the nimble-footed dancers and they tripping o'er the daisies. There were others shouting cigars and lights and bills for all the races, with the colours of the jockey and the price and horses' ages. With me whack, fall the do, fall the diddery idle day. And it's there you'll see the jockeys and they mounted on so stately, the pink, the blue, the orange and green, the emblem of our nation. When the bell was rung for starting, all the horses seemed impatient. I thought they never stood on ground, their speed was so amazing. With me whack, fall the do, fall the diddery idle day. There was 500,000 people there of all denominations, the Catholic, the Protestant, the Jew and Presbyterian. There was yet no animosity, no matter what persuasion, but fortune, hospitality, inducing fresh acquaintance. With me whack, fall the do, fall the diddery idle day. Oh, with me whack, fall the do, fall the diddery idle day.
Hello folks, this is a song written by the great Johnny Patterson, who came from, I think he came from around Clare area, back in the 1800s. He also was very famous as a circus clown, but he wrote this song, in the late 1800s, I think. But he also wrote some wonderful songs, one of them called I Met Her in the Garden Where the Praties Grow, recorded by the great John McCormack. This is a song called The Stone Outside Dan Murphy's Door. There's a sweet garden spot in my memory. It's the place I was born and reared. It was long years ago since we left there, but returned there we will if we're spared. Well, our parents and friends and companions would assemble each night near this door. Round Dan Murphy's shop, and oh, often we sat on the stone outside Dan Murphy's door. Those days in our heart we will cherish, contented although we were poor. And the songs that were sung in the days we were young, on the stone outside Dan Murphy's door. When the school days were over, we'd meet there, in the winter or spring just the same. And the girls and the boys all together would join in some innocent game. Oh, Don Murphy would fiddle down his fiddle while his daughter looked after the store. The music would ring and sweet songs we would sing on the stone outside Dan Murphy's door. Those days in our heart we will cherish, contented although we were poor. And the songs that were sung in the days we were young, on the stone outside Dan Murphy's door. Back again will our thoughts often wander to the scenes of our childhood's home, when the friends and companions we left there, it was poverty caused us to roam. Since then in this life we have prospered, but still in our hearts we feel sore. For the memory will fly to the days long gone by, and the stone outside Aunt Murphy's door. Those days in our heart we will cherish, contented although we were poor. And the songs that were sung in the days we were young, on the stone outside Aunt Murphy's door. And the songs that were sung in the days we were young, on the stone outside Aunt Murphy's door.
The Bacharja, Niall Wallen Shaw in Inishcorey, Conte Loch Garman. It's coming up to the month of June and the 205th anniversary of the Battle of Waterloo. So here's a song about my hero, Míle Marhain, Napoleon Bonaparte. Attention pay both the young and old to these few lines that I'll unfold. 'Tis of the deeds of brave Napoleon I'm going to relate. He was as valiant a Corsican as ever stood in Europe's land. I'm inclined to sing his praises, so ennobled was his heart. For in every battle manfully he strove to gain the victory, and to the world a terror was Napoleon Bonaparte. At Waterloo that fatal June, it caused Napoleon to rue. When he saw the tricks of Scrouchy, it struck terror to his heart. It was there upon that fatal day he was forced to yield or run away. Like a bullock's soul at Smithfield was Napoleon Bonaparte. Oh, Mary Louise for him wept, all day or night she seldom slept, for she could find no rest for to ease her aching heart. Where is my emperor, she cried, cursed be the gold that did him bribe. False Grouchy has betrayed brave Napoleon Bonaparte. In the great city of Paris they did erect a monument, all for to contain the ashes of his heart. And every Frenchman passing by respectfully a tribute pays to the immortal remembrance of Napoleon Bonaparte. There you go.
I'll sing a song called O'Brien the Blacksmith. It was a great favourite of Robbie McMahon's back in the day. A good Wexford song. Oh, Brian the blacksmith forged a pike, and better ne'er was made. The ashen handle 6 feet long, and 2 feet long the blade. Father Murphy blessed it down by the Slaney side, and brave Brian Bond caressed it like a lover would his bride. On those grand old hills I remember, as the stars began to shine, the captain came to drill us on that clear bright moonlit night, and as he gave the order we longed and wished to hear. 30,000 Fenian men made answer with a cheer. Soon glad and joyful tidings across the sea had flown. Lord Edward he is coming with Emmet and Wolfe Tone. Soon our own dear flag we'll raise o'er many hill and glen, with brave Lord Edward at the head of 30,000 men. Oh, God be praised, he proudly said, this day has dawned at last. Soon our own dear flag we'll raise aloft and freedom blast. So men be up and ready with pike and proud array, and we march through Enniscorthy at the dawning of the day. When they came to Enniscorthy, they found the place in flame. The dead and dying blocked their way, the blood flowed like the rain, and hemmed around on every side with bayonet bloody red stood a band of noble Fenians with O'Brien at the head. Right well and bravely had they fought with their brave comrades all, through Enniscorthy's blazing streets up to the barrack wall. And when they reached the barrack wall, to their dismay they found that a gang of ruthless foemen had encircled them all round. Charge, my gallant countrymen, with faith in fatherland, and if we die among the ranks, we die with blade in hand. Once again we meet them with defiance loud and high, and if we do not beat them, we will show them how to die. At length a fatal volley from the cowardly Saxon foe, O'Brien wounded through the heart lay weltering in his gore. As his last blood was ebbing fast, he raised his aching head, he called unto his comrades, and this is what he said. Dear Morris, take this blood-stained pike, a weapon made for thee, and if for Ireland's cause you strike, strike one more blow for me. I am dying as my forefathers died, with freedom blade in hand. Do thou the same, God guard the green. 3 cheers for Ireland.
Oh, after the morning there comes an evening, and after the evening another day, and after a false love there comes a true love. I'd have you listen now to what I say. My love, he is as fine a young man, oh, as fair as any the sun shines on. But how to save him I do not know it, for now he's got a sentence to be hung. as he was a marching the streets of Derry. I don't need marched upright manfully, be much more like a commanding officer than a man to die on the gallows tree. What keeps my love, she's so long in coming? Oh, what detains her so long from me? Or does she think it a shame or scandal to see me die on the gallows tree? He looked around and he saw her coming, as she rode swifter than a while. I'll let them see that they dare not hang you, and I'll crown my Johnny with the laurel leaf.
Hello there. Shift and Spin is a song written by Ewan McVicar. It's set in a cotton mill in Paisley. We're from the other side of Glasgow, the east side of Glasgow. But Shift and Spin is a world that would be familiar to us, or maybe I should say in particular, the person in the song is familiar. She reminds us of my Aunt Bella. So for Bella, here's Shift and Spin. Shift and spin, warp and twine, making threads coarse and fine, dreaming all your valentine, working in the mill. Keep your bobbins running easy, show your gallus bright and breezy, wait until Prince Charming sees you working in the mill. Shift and spin, warp and twine, making threads coarse and fine, dreaming all your valentine, working in the mill. Oil your runners, mend your thread, do your best until you're dead. Wish you were a wife instead of working in the mill. Shift and spin, warp and twine, making threads coarse and fine, dreaming all your valentine, working in the mill. You used to dream you'd be the rage, smiling on the fashion page. Never dreamt you'd be a wage slave, working in the mill. Shift and spin, warp and twine, making threads coarse and fine, dreaming all your valentine, working. Used to think life was kind, no it isn't, never mind. Maybe someday love will find you working in the mill. Shift and spin, warp and twine, making threads coarse and fine, dreaming all your valentine, working in the mill. He loves me not, so what? Make the most of what you've got. Win your pay and spend that cotton, working in the mill. Shift and spin, warp and twine, making threads
Hi, the song I'm going to sing is The Pope's Toe, written by a genius from Cork called Confada O'Driscoll. It's sung to the air of well-known reel of the same name. I think it came about because he was musing about where tunes sometimes get their odd names and so on, so the song came about. I'll tell you of a minstrel in Ireland long ago who composed a little reel which he called the Pope's Toe. He polished it and shaped it and played it on his fiddle, but why he gave it such a name will always be a riddle. Now he played it in a session for the other players, and soon there were lots of people asking for to hear this pleasant tune. It increased its popularity to have a title papal. 'Twas recorded then by Jackie Daly on the topic label. Now his confidence was high, and he made another reel, and to everyone's astonishment was called the Pope's Heel. One day, as he sat beneath a shady rhododendron, he rattled off a hornpipe called the Pope's Achilles tendon. He thought what would make for a comical diversion was a musical progression all along the papal person. He resolved, having started at the level of the ground, that he wouldn't stop until he reached his holiness's crown. Now the Pope is not admired by the people of the Shankill, but they really love the double jig he called the Pope's ankle. In spite of a minority of people very cynical, its maker was applauded as a hero ecumenical. He made a pair of slipjigs which he christened the Pope's Shins. They were featured on an album by the piper Liam O'Flynn. He was dubbed a papal count by a Vatican decree, and he regularly featured on Celebrity TV. Now his next composition was astonishingly bad. Never fear, said his producer, you don't need to feel so sad. We'll dress it up so fancy and we'll style it Celtic folk, give it plenty of reverb and then they'll never get the joke. And so, with studio effects and percussionists from Libya, with glamour and with fireworks, then they launched the Pope's Tibia. The critics were enthralled and they said with this new venture he has dragged traditional music right into the 20th century. By the time he had written his first polka, The Pope's Tie, he was feeling very arrogant. His limit was the sky. He did 7 cultist tours and a dozen TV shows, and when he went on stage he wore fancy shiny clothes. He produced a concept album which he called From Toe to Femur, and he had the papal coat of arms emblazoned on his beamer. He admired himself so much and he was full of such conceit that it never struck him that one day his maker he might meet. But the man above decided that he couldn't take a chance, saying we can't have people messing in the papal underpants. If he didn't stop him now, there'd be trouble up ahead. So he hit him with a powerful lightning bolt and struck him dead. So from this sorry tale, take a lesson to your hearts. If you make a tune, don't name it after papal body parts. Call it after birds or animals or pretty flowers or trees, but forget about the organs of religious VIPs.
It was in the blooming summertime, when fields and meadows are in their prime. To take the air I was inclined, and carelessly did range where primrose pale and violets blue and daisies o'er the meadows grew. My onward course I did pursue till I arrived in Grange. It was there I spied a neat abode, a sunny cottage by the road, wherein a damsel sat and sewed, her beauty could change man's darkest sorrow into bliss, had he a moment to caress, and through life's journey to possess the blooming flower of Grange. Her eyes, they glittered like the stars that we call Mercury and Mars, or those bright comets from afar in their celestial reign. Heaven 'twas a glorious sight, and the moon shone down its beaming light, for to illume this beauty bright, the blooming flower of Grange. Her amber locks in ringlets thick flowed freely round her snow-white neck, and the blooming rose upon her cheek no winter wind could change. In sudden raptures of delight I then approached this beauty bright, and my heart was stopped at the first sight of the blooming flower of Grange. I said, my blooming flower fair, if you affection with me share, I solemnly now do declare your state I wish to change. While life shall animate thy breast, I'll love, respect, and I'll do my best to keep your gentle mind at rest, my blooming flower of Grange. Kind sir, she said, your offer's good, and I would embrace it if I could, although I feel my parents would our union disarrange. Though 18 summers I have seen, a lover yet I have not been. Therefore I cannot be your queen, said the blooming flower of Grange. 'Tis sad, my love, for to say farewell, and the pain I feel no tongue can tell. These heavy thoughts I can't dispel that in my bosom reign. All for the want of free consent, I'm doomed in exile to repent, and all through life I will lament for the day I came to Grange. Young man, she said, your worry subdue, for since I find you really true, forever the same I'll be to you, through life I'll never change. And though I fail to get consent, still to be yours is my intent. So you have no cause for to lament, said the blooming flower of Grange. 1,000 thanks, my heart's delight, my sorrows you have put to flight. I will always bless this glorious night that brought this happy change. So come, prepare, and be my bride, near Wexford town I do reside, where the nuptial knot it will be tied to the blooming flower of Grange.
You noble heroes from Paddy's nation, draw near a while until I relate of a conversation between 3 girls the other night had a great debate. They rose no rows nor no noisy voices, they spoke quite civil as I could see. They drew down heroes from their 3 counties to note boast of their history. There was one from Limerick, and one from Kerry, and another one from the County Clare. And as these 3 girls sat down together, they could see all round them from everywhere. Miss Limerick spoke, saying, I am the oldest, you must excuse me to make so free. The Limerick people were never beaten, they fought out brave for you all to see. Miss Clare made answer, saying, you said that handsome, but now it's my turn for to begin. But for us in Clare, in days past over, would e'er a bell in your churches ring? We have O'Connell, that great liberator, at the present time trying to set us free. And while grass is growing and water's flowing, he's here in Dennis for the world to see. Miss Kerry blushed, and she spoke quite hasty. Is that my son you are speaking of? Sure we have O'Connell, that noble hero, from that grand old place they call Derrynane, where he got birth and good education, until he was ready to meet the king. And in 29 he did blindfold them, and emancipation to us did bring. Miss Clare replied, and she deeply sighed, he came from Kerry, I don't deny, but he did cross over the Shannon waters, and the men of Clare gave him reply. Likewise the women who fought courageous, and in 28 they gave him the chair. And being a Catholic and the son of Grania, in the House of Commons they thought him queer. Miss Kerry said, I can boast of one thing, and it is well known the world wide, that I reared a son who fought for Ireland, and for her freedom he sorely tried. Likewise the scenery around Killarney, that all the strangers they come to view. You may talk of Wicklow and other parts of Ireland, but Kerry's the pride of the 32. Miss Limerick spoke, saying 'tis all a joke, 'tis not to quarrel that we came here. Sure the man you speak of, that great liberator, we have his statue as well as ye. Likewise there's Parnell and all his followers, at the present time trying to set us free. I have 1 sixpence, we'll have 3 half ones, and we'll say no more about history.
Hi Rachel, the song that I've chosen for your project is called Your Mother is Your Sweetheart, which is another title. And there's a sweetheart waiting for you. The bluebirds in the gloaming sang their sweet notes clear and high, and to all hearts were brighter now as news came from their boy. With shaking hands they did unfold his long-awaited note, but their joy soon turned to sadness, for this is what he wrote. He asked if his own sweetheart Nell did love him still and wait, for he always said he would prove true to the girl he couldn't forget. He was happy now and his fortune made, and would soon be returning home to take his true love for his bride, and never more to roam. His father thought all through the night as to what he might tell his boy, for he knew the girl he loved so well was no longer his pride and a joy. To break the news in the kindest way and this was his reply. There's a sweetheart waiting for you in the valley where I roam. There's a sweetheart waiting for you in the dear old cabin home. She's the sweetest, dearest sweetheart, and the kindest ever grew. Your mother is your sweetheart, and she's my old sweetheart too. Oh, the one you call your sweetheart, oh, the one that you love so well. She has gone away and left her home to where no one can tell. Some say she's gone and she's married now, and to you have proved untrue. But your mother is your sweetheart, and she's my old sweetheart too.
Thanks to Dermot Ryan for this great song. In the town of Wuhan, some germs from an animal made a great leap and infected a few. Nobody thought it would be a pandemic, but now the whole world's in a hullabaloo. It didn't take long for the germs to go global in planes and trains and cruises by sea. Now locked in our homes and trying to stay sober, we can't even watch the live sports on TV. 6 long months of isolation, 6 long months doing nothing at all. 6 long months of isolation, this lockdown has got driving me right up the wall. I tried to go out, got sent back in again. I went out again, straight back in again. Sick to death of this social distancing, finish the lockdown for once and for all. Now the experts say to keep 2 meters distance and never to gather in couples and groups. And eating at home is a feckin' disaster. I'm fat as a fool eating pasta and soups. Now in the UK the virus was active, it got the Prime Minister in number 10. I hope Boris Johnson recovers completely so that we can call him a dickhead again. 6 long months in isolation, 6 long months without toilet roll. I wish to God that I had constipation because I got nothing for wiping me hole. I tried to go out, got sent back in again. I went out again, straight back in again. Sick to death of this social distancing, finish the lockdown for once and for all. Now Trump took it lightly, there's no need to panic, we're under control, sure 'tis only a flu. He finally did what he promised his voters, America first in this virus too. 3 long years with Trump as president, 3 long years doing nothing at all. Talking shite and blaming China while Mexico begs him to finish the wall. I tried to go out, got sent back in again. I went out again, straight back in again. Sick to death of this social distancing, finish the lockdown for once and for all. Now the end is in sight, the curve it is flatter, but lifting the lockdown is yet to be seen. Now washing your hands and staying at home is the only solution for COVID-19. 6 long months of isolation, the planet has never looked greener before. But back to the grind to pay off the mortgage, the world it just won't be the same anymore.
There's the one-eyed yellow idol to the north of Kathmandu. There's a little marble cross below the town. A broken-hearted woman tends the grave of Mad Carew, and the yellow god forever gazes down. He was known as Mad Carew to the subs at Kathmandu. He was hotter than they felt inclined to tell. But for all his foolish pranks, he was worshipped in the ranks, and the colonel's daughter smiled on him as well. He loved her all along with a passion that was strong, and the fact that she loved him was plain to all. She was nearly 21, and arrangements had begun to celebrate her birthday with a ball. He wrote to ask what present she would like from Mad Carew. They met next day as he dismissed the squad, and jestingly she told him that nothing else would do but the green eye of the little yellow god. The night before the dance, Mad Carew was in a trance. They chaffed him as they puffed on their cigars, but for once he failed to smile. He just sat alone a while, then went out into the night beneath the stars. He returned before the dawn with his shirt and tunic torn, and a gash upon his temple dripping red. He was patched up straight away, and he slept all through the day, while the colonel's daughter watched beside his bed. He awoke at last and asked if they could send his tunic through. She brought it, and he thanked her with a nod. He told her search the pocket, saying that's from Mad Carew. And she found the little green eye of the god. She upbraided poor Carew in the way that women do, and strangely both her eyes were red and wet. She refused to take the stone. Mad Carew was left alone with the jewel that he risked his life to get. When the ball was at its height, on that still and tropic night, she thought of him and hurried to his room. As she crossed the barrack square, she could hear the dreamy air of a waltz tune softly stealing through the gloom. The door was open wide, and the silvery moon shone through. The ground was wet and slippery where she trod. An ugly knife lay buried in the heart of Mad Carew. 'Twas the vengeance of the little yellow god. There's the one-eyed yellow idol to the north of Kathmandu. There's the little marble cross below the town. A broken-hearted woman tends the grave of Mad Carew, and the yellow god forever gazes down.
This is a song I wrote nearly 2 years ago called Road to Sligo. I suppose it's time now that it got a public hearing. We met on the road to Sligo, it was flowing, the sun was shining. Cruising in her jazz car, she caught my flute case with velvet lining. Hopped in, says laughing Maura, her fiddle a perfect godsend. My thoughts on all the duets that we'd both play right through the weekend. Oh, that was the weekend I came into manhood. With Maura, me darling, we played such merry tunes. But on our own, like, she had a bed in Wine Street right on the top floor over a bookies. Said I could leave my gear there, we stood there smiling, a pair of rookies. After we shared a sandwich my mother made me before I left home. Far side of Ballavari, said she'd take care, Sean, and take your dad home. Oh, that was the weekend I came into manhood. With Maura, me darling, we played such merry tunes, but on our own like. Session in the town hall, she played the Clare style to drone a tap feet. She played the concertina, her skills not licked off Main Street. She started the Silver Spear, and drowsy Maggie said feed the tappin'. The Morning Star wrapped up the set, the crowd and myself a clappin'. Oh, that was the weekend I came into manhood. With Maura, me darling, but I played such merry tune, but on her own like. I started into Morrison's out on the ocean, banished misfortune. She joined in the rounded pitchfork and said to God, that's a right tune. She then played the mountain road and gave stick to the Sally Gardens. And after the merry blacksmith, she said, for sure, Sean, I'm only starving. Oh, that was the weekend I came into manhood with more and me darling. We played such merry tunes, but on our own like. It's long past its 40 years since that long weekend in Sligo. Our time has been jigs and cleaners. Our young laddie plays the banjo. Brian Oakey plays the fiddle. I catch the concertina with songs from our gift of God. Our youngest girlie, dear Seraphina. Oh, that was the weekend I came into manhood with more and me darling. We played such merry tunes, but on our own like.
As I roved out on a fine summer's morning, down through the park of the clear sparkling stream, I was thinking on Ireland and her struggle for freedom, and of those brave men who fought to set us free. In Kilmainham I thought of Tone's United Irishmen, who took their inspiration from the words of Tom Paine. Though their fight was a failure, the legacy they left to us ensured future generations would keep alive the flame. As I walked along Thomas Street, I thought of Robert Emmet, whose speech from the dock will be remembered by all, when he gave up his young life on that fine September morning. He hoped those who followed after would answer the call. As I passed by the castle, I remember those who suffered in that dreadful place for a cause that was true, though their names are forgotten by the children of modernity. They're held in high esteem by the likes of me and you. On College Green I paused by the statue of Davis, who led the young Irelanders to try once again. Though they did not succeed, the spirit that they nurtured, the sad, troubled country would once again sustain. As I crossed O'Connell Bridge, I saw Hull and Saoirse, where the ICA assembled on that Easter Monday morn, when they marched up Abbey Street led by Commandant James Connolly. Their hopes of returning were indeed forlorn. In O'Connell Street I saw the statue of Jim Larkin, who led in the fight to defend workers' rights. More than a century has passed since Bloody Sunday 1913, but the struggle still goes on and we won't give up the fight. At the GPO I stood where Pearse read the proclamation to a handful of people, some who looked on him with scorn. With hope his heart was springing that this would be the catalyst, and the spirit of the nation would be once again reborn. As I retraced my steps, I reflected on the thoughts I'd had, and on those who gave their lives that this country would be free. What would they think of the current situation, and how this great country had been brought to its knees? So Irish men and Irish women, the time has come for us again to rally to the call of those who've gone before. We've regained our economic sovereignty, we'll put our shoulders to the wheel, and we'll bring this country back to where it was in days of yore.
As I walked out one bright May morn, one bright May morn betimes, I met a maid who from home had strayed, just as the sun did shine. What makes you rise so soon, my dear? your journey to pursue. Your pretty little feet, they tread so neat, strike off the morning dew. I'm going to feed my Father's flock, his young and tender lambs, that over hill and over dale lie waiting for their dams. Oh stay, you handsome maid, and rest a moment here, for there is none but you alone that I do love so dear. How gloriously the sun does shine, how lovely is the air. I'd rather rest on my true love's breast than any other where. For thou art mine, and I am thine, no man shall uncomfort thee. We'll join our hands in wedding bands, and married we shall be. We'll join our hands in wedding bands, and married we shall be. As I rode out one morning fair, so early as I strayed, it being all in the month of June, the birds sang in the shade. The sun shone down right merrily, and billowing with pride, where primroses and daisies grow down by Blackwater's side. I had not gone but half a mile, when there by chance I spied two lovers talking as they walked down by Blackwater's side. And as he held her in his arms, these words to her did say, it's when I am in America, I'll be true to my Irish maid. It's when you are in America, those Yankee girls you'll find, and you'll have sweethearts all your own, more pleasing to your mind. Do not forget the promises, nor the vows to me you've made. Oh, stay at home, love, do not roam from your bonny Irish maid. It's when I am in America, those Yankee girls I'll see. Ah, but they must be very handsome to remind me, love, of thee. There's not a bloom in yonder grove, nor a leaf in yonder glade. That does remind me, love, of thee, my bonny Irish maid. It's many's the foolish youth, she said, has gone to some foreign shore, leaving his own true love behind, oh, ne'er to see no more. It's in crossing the Atlantic foam, sometimes their graves are made. Oh, stay at home, love, do not roam from your bonny Irish maid. These two young hearts together so fondly did embrace, as dew upon the honey drops, the tears ran down her face. There's not a day while you're away I'll visit still these glades, until you do return again to your bonny Irish maid.
This is a song called Farewell to Carlow Town. It was written by the great ballad maker Sean McCarthy from Freenoog in County Kerry. And Sean McCarthy spent some time in Carlow during the 1960s. But from any research I could find, I think he spent most of that time in Carpenter's Pub in Barry Street. Anyway, but years later he sent back this song to the folks in Carpenter's. Song called Farewell to Carlow Town. Oh Carlow Town, I'll bid you a sad farewell. I never more will see your streets, it was there my darling fell. I'll never walk your shady lanes, or sit by that painted gate, and I'll never hear your voice again, cry Mary, don't stay late. Ah, my love, he was a rebel bold, he carried a Fenian gun. He was born and bred in Carlow Town, a fighting Irishman. He left me one fine summer's morn to fight for liberty, and he joined a band of roving men for to set old Ireland free. Oh, when we were young we roamed the lanes, and we met by that painted gate. He cried, Mary, lovely Mary, now don't you stay out too late. The English Huns are on the run, they're shooting strangers down. He left me in the moonlight then, just 1 mile from Carlow Town. Oh, it's well I do remember when it first came courting me. He was just a young lad and we were happy, wild and free. But sykes and bands around the lands, and death was all around. We were married in a little church just 1 mile from Carlow town. I stand behind in Carlow town for to nurse our baby boy. We shivered in the cold, cold nights as troops came marching by. One Sunday morn as the rain came down and the birds so loudly sang, my love, he died right by my side in this native Carlow town. Oh, someday when our son grows tall, I will take him home with me. And I'll show him where his father fell in the fight for liberty. We'll place a wild rose on his grave, and my tears now will fall down, and I'll walk with him to that painted gate, just 1 mile from Carlow town.
So they on Connachtach as Connemara we Bador, Dr. Sauni Vrignala Is Mash the Bad more me gwal rot na galve, Daljoch in the odds ni hogging and marige, Ora how ni Vrignala, Cashless a story in Elgsimilum. Mash the bad more good Johnny glachud, Naran shidon chorus stoi now on a shed. Ora how, di Vrignala, a chaishless a story in Elgsimilum. Nearing a sprayle saudi Vrignala, och lein shige, Carelo kaini. Ora ni Vrignala, a chaishless a story in Elgsimilum. Níl fallach a gaul hauni Vrignala, och sean chotin down gan caul gan moinhile. Ora ni Vrignala, a chaishless a story in Elgsimilum. Morris far Mahamad me, tau far umre, Fas lustris lai o gachon no numre. Ora how, di Vrignala, Cashless a story in Elgsimilum. Nure megon cofre corvan nargid, Binnen savanis I coil till janorum. Ora ni Vrignala, a chaishless a story in Elgsimilum. Ni captain o linge no marnelach marme, ta post ni spargum ta me mowat lera. Ora ni Vrignala, a chaishless a story in Elgsimilum. Nor jokkes labra, sun goion warge, Tur me saulam go keben a galve. Hora ni Brynjala, o corned o warin, ella agus emiliam. Sinead.
Hi Rachel and John and everyone else there in Gorey. I hope you're all surviving reasonably well under the circumstances. The song I'm going to try to sing for you today is The Boys of Bedlam. Most of you are probably familiar with the expression Bedlam as referring to a crazy situation, a madhouse. And Bedlam is a contraction of the word Bethlehem, and from about the 16th century onwards in London there was a hospital for the insane, as it was described, called the Bethlehem Hospital, and they treated male patients with mental health issues. There was an equivalent hospital for female patients, and it was the Mary Magdalene Hospital. And Magdalene in England is often contracted, again, that word, to Magdalene. And I mention that because Magdalene is named in the first verse in the song. So just to balance things up, I suppose. The song itself is probably at least 300 years old, in the sense that a song of this type, with many of these words, many of these sentiments, was sung, is known to have been sung around 1720. Certainly not to this tune. This is a fairly modern tune for the song. But the sentiments, many of the words would be close to the original song. I think that's probably all I can really say about it. So best thing to do now is to sing it. It's probably an appropriate song for the time, in that it's a kind of a fantastical sort of song. It's fairly well detached from reality, as most of us have been for the last little while, so it's probably an appropriate song for the times. Anyway, so this is it. For to see Mad Tom a Bedlam, 10,000 miles I'd travel. Mad Magdalene goes on dirty toes, for to save her shoes from gravel. And still I sing, bonny boys, bonny mad boys. Bedlam boys are bonny, for they all go bare and they live by the air, and they want no drink nor money. I went down to Satan's kitchen for to get me food one morning, and there I got souls piping hot, all on the spit a-turning, and still I sing, bonny boys, bonny mad boys. Bedlam boys are bonny, for they all go bare and they live by the air, and they want no drink nor money. Me staff has murdered giants, and me bag a long knife carries, for to cut mince pies from children's thighs, with which to feed the fairies. And still I sing, bonny boys, bonny mad boys. Bedlam boys are bonny, for they all go bare and they live by the air, and they want no drink nor money. The spirits are white as lightning would on me travels guide me. The moon would quake and the stars would shake whenever they espied me. And still I sing, bonny boys, bonny mad boys. Bedlam boys are bonny, for they all go bare and they live by the air, and they want no drink nor money. And when that I would murder the man in the moon to a powder, his staff I'll break and his dog I'll shake, and they'll howl no demon louder, and still I sing bonny boys, bonny mad boys. Bedlam boys are bonny, for they all go bare and they live by the air, and they want no drink nor money. For to see Mad Tom a Bedlam, 10,000 miles I travel, Mad Maudlin goes on dirty toes, for to save her shoes from gravel, and still I sing bonny boys, bonny mad boys. Bedlam boys are bonny, for they all go bare and they live by the air, for they all go bare and they live by the air, for they all go bare and they live by the air. And they want no drink nor money.
Oh, the night was dark and the battle over. The moon shone down O'Connell Street. I stood alone where brave men perished. Some have gone their God to meet. The first I met was a grey-haired father, searching for his only son. I said, old man, there is no use in searching, for up to heaven your son has gone. Well, the old man cried out broken-hearted, falling on his bended knee. I knew my son was too kind-hearted. I knew my son would never yield. The next I met was a fair young maiden, kneeling by her lover's side, and she prayed to her heavenly Father to keep him safe until he died. The next I met was a dying rebel, and bending low I heard him say, God bless my home in dear Cork City. God bless the cause for which I die. My only son, he was shot in Dublin, fighting for his country bold. He died for Ireland and Ireland only. The harp, the shamrock, green, white and gold.
This is a song called The Flower of Gortaid. I got it from the Cathal Lynch CD. Gortaid is near Maharan, County Derry, and quite near from where my mother was from and where I was born. I hope to get down to Wexford sometime to some of the singing sessions, but in the meantime, keep singing and stay safe. Descend, ye chaste muses, ye bards and ye sages, with Orpheus who tamed roaring beasts with his lyre. Ye ancient historians that are dead many ages, I pray you awake and my genius inspire. Ye great men of learning, lend me approbation. Ye bards and philosophers, lend me your aid. In praise of a female, I now leave this nation. She's the bright star of Erin and the flower of Gortade. Oh, was I as Homer, the prince of the writers, who sang of Athenians and Spartans of old? Could I paint with the skill of a Roman inditer? The praise of this young maid can never be told. Fair Penelope, Venus, Diana, or Flora, whose beauty and chastity never can fade. Fair Helen, Lucretia, and the famous Aurora, even these could not equal the flower of Gortade. Unrivaled she stands mid the daughters of Erin, for style and for beauty, sure there's none can excel. On the 4th of September my bark it is steering, far, far from the place it did formerly dwell. The consort of Hector that's mentioned in story, Susanna, whose virtue it never can fade. Queen Dido dwelt with her sovereign in his glory. Even these could not equal the flower of Gortade. Adieu to you, Erin, the land of my childhood, where luxury, pomp, and magnificence roar. No more I'll go wade through the wilds and the wild woods, or list to the maiden that sings in the grove. And if to Columbia God sends me safe over, I'll write a few lines to my maiden fair, who along with my parents and her own dear mother would welcome me home once again to Gortade. Míle mai hagah.
My youth is long past, and I am mighty dreary. An exile I am cast on the wilds of the prairie. I'm hunting the wild deer, the panther and the beaver. But I look back with pride on the bogs of Beannachtaí. Andy and Nora in their absence do get ready. By the light of the moon, go and tell Master Freddy. Oh, tell him to prepare and to be now mighty clever. It's our last night of hunting on the bogs of Beannachtaí. From the shores of Loch Auna to the plains of Glenbrigeen, By the light of the moon, my poor heart it was ticking. We'd have made for Letterdeen, but the land it did not favour. So we went back over the hills to the bogs of Beannachtaí. Now the course it was rough, but Bruce he was long-winded. The power in every stride, oh, the hunting it was splendid. That 2-year-old hound, he was necky and he clever. Oh, the next thing I saw was a death in Beannachtaí. Now the day Bruce he died, oh, my coursing days were over. I knelt down and I cried like a broken-hearted lover. We took Bruce to his grave and I laid him down forever. Paid my passage to New York from the bogs of Beannachtaí. In London for years they spoke of Susanna, and young Willie Ayres, his boast it was Diana. But the truth for to tell, oh, there's none of them I'd favour, for I'd give Toby the sway on the bogs of Beannachtaí. Now Ireland, my land, fare thee well now and forever. There is no land on earth that I love with such great fervour. If ever she is free, I'll go back again and see her, and I'll settle down forever on the bogs of Beannachtaí.
And it's sure if the news is true, the storm is the first thing I'll pay. A soft Beannach suite for the lounge I will buy, and an organ for Bridgie, hooray. My calico shirt I will throw in the dirt, in a silk one won't I cut a shine. And the very first chance I'll put Seamus in pants when the breakers go back on full time. Our troubles are our Mrs. Murphy, for the Dutchman next door tells me straight. The mines start up full time on Monday, that's what he tells me at any rate. And the boss he told Michael this morning, as he was just entering the mine, that the coal is quite scarce around Philly, so the breakers go back on full time. And it's sure if the news is true, the store bill's the first thing I'll pay. A soft Beannach suite for the lounge I will buy, and an organ for Bridgie, hooray. My calico shirt I will throw in the dirt, in a silk one won't I cut a shine. And the very first chance I'll put Seamus in pants when the breakers go back on full time. I'll ne'er stick me fist in the wash tub, the Chinaman he'll get me trade. I won't pick the coal from the slate bank, I'll buy everything ready-made. We'll dress up our children like fairies, and build a big house grand and fine, and move first chance I'll put Seamus in pants when the breakers go back on full time. And the very first chance I'll put Seamus in pants when the breakers go back on full time.
He was born in the city where the river Shannon flows, a youth of tender bearing that everybody knows. He loved our native language because it was our own. And Irishmen should not forget Sean South from Garryon. As Christmas time was drawn near, he faced our ancient foe. Not many had greeted him that day, for few had seen him go. But when they brought his riddled body back to rest amongst his own, there were thousands there to welcome home Sean South from Garryon. Now the wee ones in Fermanagh homes are asking where you've gone. Where is that red-haired soldier boy who spoke our Gaelic tongue? Beside the fire as he drew for us, while he spoke of piercing tone. Oh, mother, will we meet again, Sean South from Garryon? Oh, Sean McGraw, you're resting now amongst Ireland's noble dead, and Ulster's fields are crimson with the blood you gladly shed. May the Lord who reigns in heaven on high take you to his kingly throne, and may Irishmen remember well Sean South from Garryon.
Mohase molawa mohrawa kastamaleting snialen osna danyenin nageri vewan rogerelam na truale vacharje marfagu mashe kartlar na dom gan cate long a bed a gum, ach when do hen when a vilum. Snabbe gehil ma hen wan, ogunyen samara gajo gonyela la maliwan agus guika samashalom hen nyega iskabwe eskagere taro Små hart wan miag arandela au haram snamin Naomi etalin da jan magas tu tamalt gram Go clia chashgari na mara halam Nir vel shalom do fog nan ros retig malera boy Ste kuyar Nima storin Shni mona go almo Friesland She shen when mora Sky tanyen shen shashkial Tag sha asna moler agus leon shimoli golir agus blian hamim bio ma fossen shean vana don clio Se gaf dina tria more a honi es schales mogra Stemma huler en rail dalish a tena koni walin clewan at the long agus ver sin me na Spain sa flam go jojo goro ferin lam soer henwan Si she sagreiles agus yo vitase anduas nu era hokas nadini agus yen arantare getsuas oite seferin leini agus maragiwan speitu shula de vrogedi bohera arwali and kliaurua
We're going to sing a song called On Yonder Hill that we learned from Niall Wall from the Song Circle for Children. On yonder hill
If I had another penny, I would have another gill. I would ask the piper play, the bonny lass of Biker Hill. Biker Hill and a walk ashore, Collier lads forevermore. Biker Hill and a walk ashore, Collier lads forevermore. When first I went down to the dirt, I had no clothes nor no picture. Now I've gotten 2 or 3, Walker pits done wheel by me. Biker Hill and Walker Shore, Collier lads forevermore. Biker Hill and Walker Shore, Collier lads forevermore. Well, the pitman and the keelman trim, they drink bumble made from gin. Then to dance they do begin, to the tune of Elsie Marley. Biker Hill and the Walker Shore, Collier lads forevermore. Biker Hill and the Walker Shore, Collier lads forevermore. Geordie Charlton, he had a pig, he hit it with a shovel and a danced a jig, all the way to the Walker Shore, to the tune of Elsie Marley. Biker Hill and Walker Shore, Collier lads forevermore. Biker Hill and Walker Shore, Collier lads forevermore.
One fine summer's morning, but gallant and gay, 24 ladies went out on the quay, and a regiment of soldiers that did pass them by, a drummer and one of them soon caught his eye. He went to his comrade and to him did say, 24 ladies I saw yesterday, but one of the ladies, she has me heart won, and if she denies me, I'm surely undone. Go to this lady and tell her your mind. Tell her she's wounded, your poor heart full sore. But tell her she's wounded, your poor heart full sore. And if she denies you, what can you do more? So early next morning, this young man arose, dressed himself up in a fine suit of clothes, with a watch in his pocket and a cane in his hand. Saluting the ladies, he walked down the strand. He went up to her and he said, pardon me, lady, for making so free. Oh, me fine honoured lady, you have me heart won, and if you deny me, I'm surely undone. Be off, little drummer, now what can you mean? I'm the Lord's daughter of Ballykistine. Oh, I'm the Lord's daughter, dishonoured you see. Be off, little drummer, you're making too free. So he put on his hat and he bade her farewell, saying, I'll send me soul down to heaven or hell, but with this long pistol that hangs by my side, oh, I'll put an end to me long dreary life. Come back, little drummer, and don't take it ill. I do not want to be guilty of sin, to be guilty of innocent blood for to spill. Come back, little drummer, I'm here at your will. And we'll hire a car and to Banshee we'll go. There we'll be married in spite of our foes. Oh, but what can they say when it's over and done? But I fell in love with the roll of your drum.
When Tony commanded his army to stand, and proud waved his banners, all gaily and grand, he levelled his cannons, the whole victory to gain, and he slew my light horseman on the way coming hame. Oh, Napoleon Bonaparte, you're the cause of my woe, since my bonny light horseman in the wars he did go. Broken-hearted I'll wander, broken-hearted I'll remain, since my bonny light horseman in the wars he was slain. And if I were some small bird, and had wings and could fly, I would fly over the salt sea, where my true love does lie. And with these fond wings, oh, I would beat over his grave, I would kiss those fond lips that lie cold in the clay. Oh, Napoleon Bonaparte, you're the cause of my woe, since my bonny light horseman in the wars he did go. Broken-hearted I'll wander, broken-hearted I'll remain, since my bonny light horseman in the wars he was slain. And the dove she laments for her maid as she flies. Off where, tell me, where is my true love, she sighs. And where in this wide world is there one to compare with my bonny light horseman who was killed in the war. Oh, Napoleon Bonaparte, you're the cause of my woe, since my bonny light horseman in the wars he did go. Broken hearted I'll wander, broken hearted I'll remain, since my bonny light horseman in the wars he was slain.
A macaronic song, Cugger Mugger, Rumours. Ist liam gefoil a vorni know, and hear my story true. Bin din a raw, sa trocht gach law, that I'm in love with you. Gorbedach Lord, Rovinus Thor, my theme by night and day. Oni no sing fain, gur fear and scale, but that's what people say. The vine shower is sour than nowhere, and acres broad and free. The vine coil is clug and small, and ships upon the sea. Barlium naid, Arun Machree, your smile to light my way. Gachile lo, avile gra, well, that's what people say. Is der foes a chailin choir, that you have love for me? Is dort banane gonort banle, that you my bride will be? Arun mochlev, achid them hail, my hope and light alway. O cred the Lord, im live agra, and say what people say.
I'll sing at the campers and the rockers and shakers that are out all night till the break of the day. Some just out of the cradle and more hardly able in every nightclub sure they buoy away. Well, some they are arguing and more are begarden, while some in these clubs they are quite indiscreet. And the lights they are flashing and the music is crashing in this latest fashion of imported beat. Now these clubs, I am stating, they sure take some baiting with no band at all but a music machine. Your man stands at the table without spoon or ladle, and he pours out his goods on his boogieing scene. And it's not surprising when the music starts rising to see him put a muffler on each of his ears, while those that are dancing or maybe romancing are losing their hearing forever, I fear. Well, if you must ask me or maybe attack me for finding myself in a place so designed,
Sure, the wife was away for the night, she did say, but the owl ICA for the nest was confined. Oh, out in the morning, without any warning, out there on the dance floor, I was tasting new life. On the floor with a hippie there, sliding and slipping, was the shape and the make of me own darling wife. Well, in due recognition, she winked in a fashion, the eyelid on my side being all that was free. There was no use of talking with the music there squawking. Sure, 'twas then that I wished I was at the Caleen. Then a new lad before me had words so adoring to say to his partner he couldn't hold out. So instead of a whisper in her ear, the South Chester delivered his message by way of her mouth. There was some oscillating and some contemplating and more deliberating what I couldn't see. And some were still learning and I was discerning if every young one had her eye out for me. The balloons from the ceiling were soon disappearing. One young lad was searching for more on the floor, when a boy with elation gave 3 cheers for that nation, whose letters have lately reached this our fair shore. Now the shapes they were making, if I'm not mistaken, had laid their legs aching for more than a year. But they're jiving and bopping and lepping and hopping, and never a trace of a jig or a reel. If I was in Burma, or maybe Uganda, or deep into southern Argentine, such dancing gyrations that they're perpetrating, I'd not be debating in those native climes. For I love us the dancers, the polkas and lancers, in Kerdish lies up in Clare jigs and reels, and what's seldom seen now like a horse and a plough, what I wouldn't give for a few double wheels. But now they are training and daily explaining the old ways of dancing to young girls and boys. So the discos they be laughing to be misbehaving at Kelly's and sessions forever, me boys. With apologies to me, Hal Marnin.
Oh, if I were at a moss house where all birds do increase, at the foot of Mount Leinster, or some silent place, by the streams of Bunclody, where all pleasures do meet, then all that I'd ask is a kiss from you, sweet. Oh, the streams of Bunclody, they flow down to the sea. By the streams of Bunclody, I am longing to be drinking strong liquor at the height of my cheer. Here's a health to Bunclody and the lass I love dear. Oh, the cuckoo is a pretty bird, she sings while she flies. She brings us glad tidings and she tells us no lies. She sucks the eggs of all the small birds to keep her voice clear. And the more she sings cuckoo, the summer draws near. Oh, if I were a clerk and I could write a good hand, I would write to my sweetheart so that she'd understand that I am a young fella, wounded in love. Once I lived in Bunclody, but now I must remove. So farewell to my father and my mother, adieu. To my sister and brother, farewell unto you. I am going to America, my fortune for to try. And when I think on Bon Claudie, I am ready to die.
Father Murphy. Come all ye warriors and renowned nobles, give ear unto my warlike theme, and I'll relate how brave Father Murphy lately roused from his sleepy dream. Sure Julius Caesar nor Alexander, nor brave King Arthur ever equalled him. For armies formidable he did conquer, though with 2 pikemen he did begin. Come all in cavalry he did unhorse them, their first lieutenant he cut him down, and with scattered ranks and with broken columns, they soon returned to Camolin town. At the hill of Ucht he displayed his valour, where 100 Cork men lay on the ground. At Beannachtaí his sword he wielded, and I hope to see him once more again. When Beannachtaí came subject unto him, 'twas then to Wexford we marched our men, and at the 3 rocks we made our quarters, waiting for daybreak the town to win. The loyal townsmen gave their assistance, to die or conquer they all did say. The yeoman cavalry gave no resistance, as on the pavement their corpses lay. With drums a-beating the town did echo, and acclamations came from door to door. At the windmill hill of Beannachtaí, we drank like heroes, but paid no score. At the Carrigaroo for some time we waited, and next to Gorey we marched our men. At Toberneering we thought no harm, but the bloody army was waiting there. The issue of it was a close engagement, while on the soldiers we played warlike pranks. Through sheep walks, hedgerows, and shady thicket, there were mangled bodies and broken ranks. The shuddering cavalry, I shan't forget them. We raised the brushes on their helmets straight. They turned around and they made for Dublin, as though they ran for a 10-pound plate. Now some crossed Donnybrook and a more through Blackrock, and a more up Shankill without win or flaw. And if Barry Lawless be not a liar, there went groaning a Blugala. To the windmill hill of Beannachtaí,
The British fencibles, they ran like deers, but our ranks were tattered and sorely scattered by the loss of Cain and his Shelmaliers. With flying colours we marched on to Limerick, then to Kilcavin we did repair. 'Twas on Mount Pleasant we called the county, and pointed cannon at the army there. When we thought fit we marched on to Gorey, then next was our glow we did surround. The night been coming we regretted sorely, the 100 soldiers lay on the ground. The streets of England were left quite naked of all their armies, both foot and horse. The highlands of Scotland were left unguarded, likewise the Haitians the seas did cross. But if the Frenchmen had reinforced us, and landed transports at Bun, Father John Murphy would have been their seconder, and 16,000 with him would come. Success I tell you, sweet county Wexford, threw off the yoke and to battle run. Let them not think we gave up our arms, for every man still has a pike and gun. Shall Thank you.
This is a song about home, and it's about no matter how far you travel or wherever you go, home is really where you start out from. So I'll try this one, called These Are My Mountains. For fame and for fortune I've wandered the earth, now I've returned to the land of my birth. I've brought back my treasures, but only to find they're less than the pleasures I first left behind. For these are my mountains, and this is my glen, the days of my childhood, I see them again. No land ever claimed me, though far did I roam, for these are my mountains, and I'm going home. The stream by the road sings at my going by, the lark overhead sings a welcoming cry. The lake where the trout lies, once more I will see, for it's there my heart lies, it's there I must be. For these are my mountains, and this is my glen, the days of my childhood, I see them again. No land ever claimed me, Though far did I roam, for these are my mountains, and I'm going home. Kind faces will greet me and welcome me in. I know how they'll greet me, oh, back home again. This night round the fireside, old songs will be sung. At last I'll be hearing my own mother's tongue. For these are my mountains, and this is my glen, the days of my childhood, I see them again. No land ever claimed me, though far did I roam, for these are my mountains, and I'm going home. Stay safe, everybody.
This song is called Lord Court Town. How happy our countrymen when seasons do come on, to hear the lark and linnet melodiously sing songs. Likewise the thrush in every bush their melting notes do ring, to welcome home Lord Court Town in the days approaching spring. The trees grow tall and handsome, the leaves with honey droop, and underneath the swan does swim with his long neck and stoops. Likewise the common angler with his long line and hook, to convey the trout and salmon out of the charming brook. This lord he built a castle at the rising of yon hill. The works of it were marbled on with artifice and skill. There's no sort of stroke work with it that could e'er be equalized. It's embellished with green ivy that never fades nor dies. This lord, he sank a river more plainly to be seen. He sank it to a certain depth, full 15 feet run clean. The straits of Gibraltar couldst ne'er so rapid roar. The streams of Onivara flow into the Court Town shore. One day I was amusing on this sweet Court Town bank. The sun shone bright and clearly, while kind Neptune played a prank. 'Tis there I spied the most charming maid, most charming to be seen. In her figure she came biding down, her measure maids wore green. There was Flora at the helming, and Aurora to the stern. Likewise her gallant fine seamen their course for to steer on. I being so much delighted at her fine sails all o'er, I thought myself in paradise down by the Court Town shore. I have been in New Zealand and likewise in Peru. Of many other ancient places my eyes have took a view, but such places as Court Town my eyes didst ne'er behold. It far outshines proud Mexico, where her banks are lined with gold. Thank you.
You may talk Columbus sailing across the Atlantic Sea, but he never tried go railing from Ennis as far as Kilkee. You run for the train in the morning, the excursion being starting a date. You're there when the guard gives the warning, but yet for an hour you'll wait. And as you're waiting in the train, you'll hear the guard sing this refrain. Are you right there, Michael? Are you right? Do you think that we'll be home before the night? Oh, and all depends on whether the old engine holds together, and it might now, Michael, so it might. They find out where the engine's been hiding, and it drags it to sweet Corrigan. Says the carpacker down by the siding, here's the goods from Kilrush coming in. Perhaps it comes in an hour, or perhaps it breaks down on the way. If it does, as the guards be the powers, we'll be here for the rest of the day. And as you sit and curse your luck, the train backs down into a truck. Are you right there, Michael? Are you right? Have you got the parcel there from Mrs. White? You haven't? Oh, me gotta. It will be coming down tomorrow, and it might now, Michael, so it might. At Lahench the sea shines like a jewel, with the joy you were ready to shout, when the stoker cried out there's no fuel, and the fire is stayed totally out. So pass up that bit of a log there, and you will soon get you out of a fix. There's a fine clump of turf in the bog there, and the rest are out gathering sticks. And while you're chopping bits of trees, you'll hear some smart remarks like these. Are you right there, Michael? Are you right? Do you think that you can get the fire to light? Oh, an hour you require, then the turf it might be drier, and it might, no, Michael, so it might. Oh, Kilkee, sure you never will see it. You're in luck if the tram brings you back, for the permanent way is so queer it spends most of its time off the track. Uphill the old engine is climbing, and the passengers push with the will. You're alright when you reach in the Steinman, for then all the way home is downhill. And as you're wobbling through the dark, you'll hear the guard make this remark. are you right? Do you think that we'll be there before it's light? And all you're stopping and you're starting, so you couldn't say for starting, but we might, no, Michael, so we might. With all you're stopping and you're starting, so you couldn't say for starting, but we might, no, Michael, so we might. But we might, no, Michael, so we might. But we might, no, Michael, so we might. Sure I will.
One morning in May, as I carelessly did stray to view yon green valley where the lambs sport and play, in the clear morning dew, as I lay down to muse, a young maiden of honour appeared in my view. Says I, pretty maid, how happy we could be, for it is so ordained, love, that married we should be. Let me not see you frown, for this love is your own. As these words they were spoken, the tears trickled down. Come, dry up your tears, there is nothing to fear. I have roamed through the green fields for many's the long year, while the birds sang so sweet, this young man proved his deceit, saying adieu, pretty fair maid, we will never more meet. With my snuff box and cane, the wide world I will range, like Venus or Diana, in search of her swain. While the moon does shine clear, I will mourn for my dear, over mountains, crystal fountains, where no one can hear. There's one thing I know, and that before I go, I will never return for to hear your sad woe. There's another thing I know, and that before I go, that the rangers and the strangers have many's the foe. So I have Jim McFarland to thank for that song. I robbed it off him when he sang it at the Goleen, and it's a May song, so I'm singing it because it's May. Okay, thanks. No forgive. Mary Kinney, sing ye on Avorin Village, Dort Moiraban, Favruach Onklaja, Swavel na dra, Wajen Bara, Movorinod, Should Hage.